How should you react when someone uses a word you don't know? If questions like this have crossed your mind, then you're in good company. Today we'll be taking a closer look at some of the daily habits and social conventions that make up the monotony of life. Let's apply a screen protector to someone else's phone with reckless abandon. Grab your knitting needles and a blanket because it's time for three old friends to sit around and sew a new patch into their quilt of friendship. So join me, Dion, under the covers with Christian.
Welcome to Patchwork.
And Josh.
Welcome to Patchwork. Now, before we get started, I just wanted to bring something up that happened recently. It was my birthday recently, not long after your birthday, Dion. Now, if I recall correctly, in a group thread, and you can back me up on this, Christian, and I think he posted it as well, Dion, that you said that Josh just got in before midnight. He hasn't wished me happy birthday. The Comedy Festival wished me happy birthday, and Josh sent me a message about 11:40 at night, and I just snuck in.
And you admit that happened, Josh?
Yes, and I just sent him a courtesy message, a happy birthday, mate.
Courtesy message!
They're all courtesy messages.
They're all courtesy messages. What were the contents?
No, it's a happy birthday. A happy birthday isn't a courtesy message. It's not a courtesy wave on the. It's not the same as a courtesy wave on the roads.
It's an arbitrary date. It doesn't mean anything.
Okay, that premise. Yeah, go on.
And then so my birthday rolls around. The day goes past. The evening goes past. No message from Dion.
No message from
Dion.
Hang on.
Oh, wow.
Was there a group thread that I was in? First of all, so sorry.
Sorry, can I preface all of this, which I actually don't care?
Yeah. But was there a group thread that we were in?
No.
Okay. So I submit that you only wish me a happy birthday because you were prompted by messages in a group thread.
There was visibility on that day that it was your birthday. Yes. And I don't think I would have remembered otherwise.
Very interesting.
Oh, perfect. That's great. Problem solved.
It's not the problem solved.
No, it is.
The problem is having a go at me for not wishing you a happy birthday.
Problem solved. Problem created.
But like I said, I don't make a huge deal on my birthday, so it didn't bother me at all. But it was I loved it, and I was waiting to message. And I messaged Christian at like 12:01.
I love that.
Thank you so much.
The only person on earth that wished that someone wouldn't wish him happy birthday.
Dion, how do you store birthdays in your calendar? Are they stored in your calendar?
Oh, it's such a good question.
How do you prevent this from happening?
The problem is that I've got my Facebook birthdays synced with my calendar on my phone. But because it's Facebook and because there's 600 people there that I wouldn't really wish them happy birthday.
Interesting.
I don't have my core people that pop up in my phone. So when I see a birthday on a particular day, I'm like, oh yeah, it's just a birthday. Or when you sometimes when I log onto Facebook, you'll see there's people celebrating their birthday, and usually you sift through and you're like, I don't have the kind of relationship where I'd wish them happy birthday. So really, I don't have a great method.
So what I noticed as well, there is a strata of people in my life, and this is what I define, and I got a really clear snapshot of this on my birthday this year. So there's the echelon.
Yeah, you did.
There's the echelon of
top tier.
I will see you in person on your birthday.
Yeah.
That's pretty big.
Yep.
Then there's like, I'll give you a call on your birthday. That's pretty big.
Can I ask you just quickly, top tier, I'll see you on the day. Do they have to send a message too? Or are they sending a message too?
Irrelevant.
Irrelevant?
No.
It's just...
They don't need to, do they?
They don't need to, but it feels good to get a message and a pop in.
Why?
Oh.
Why do you need both?
Because it's validation, Dion.
Twice in a day.
The more the merrier.
Yeah, I guess validation keeps the doctor away. It's true, yeah.
So we've got the in-person meet. You've got the phone call.
Yep.
Then you've got the personal message.
Okay.
Then you've got the group chat message.
Yes.
And then below that...
You've got raises it on the podcast message.
Then below that, you've got the people you haven't spoken to for 10 years who write on your Facebook wall.
Yep.
Don't worry about it, guys. Don't worry about it.
I don't know whether you came up with that just now, Josh, but that is the perfect summation of tiers of and for the group, I'd say the group just above Facebook, who are they again?
Sorry, I missed that one. So the between that is they don't mention it and you don't care.
Yeah.
Like it's like completely fine. We're good enough friends, and maybe it'll come up when I see you. If I don't see you, no big deal. They don't send you a message, no big deal. But it's this weird tier below them who you probably know less of than most of those other people. You know these people less, yet they're the ones who are jumping onto Facebook.
When can you get away with just happy birthday, Josh? When can I get away with that?
Pointless, right?
It is pointless.
Without any articulation, any other articulation.
Yes.
Just
Would
that.
would you be more upset if I sent that to you than nothing?
It's just a waste of everybody's time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
right?
strange.
It's certainly a waste of my time.
So, Christian, what do you think? Because for my birthday this year, you called me, and I love your calls on birthdays. They're lovely. Even though I actually called you on my birthday,
Yeah,
and then
you
you
did.
remembered.
Yes.
I love you had some rubbish question. Hey, I was just wondering, like Christmas trees. You normally buy them in December,
was
right?
That is so
you do.
deflating.
It was really that. But Christian, how do you feel when someone forgets your birthday? Like, is that like, and why should people remember everyone's birthday? How
That's
did we
right.
used to remember birthdays?
How did we?
Yeah.
Schools used to have
Calendars,
lists, right? No, but didn't the school used to have the list and they did a thing of it?
A birthday list.
Primary school, definitely, I reckon there was stuff.
Okay.
Maybe not high school.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think because at school, I guess uni, it got around a bit as well because people would find out, right?
I've got no idea. Were birthdays?
It's Facebook,
Hang
right?
on.
Because since 07 for me.
Because having a birthday was a point of pride and you would tell people openly as a child, mine is this date. Like, I could
Yes.
tell you the birthdays of all of my primary school friends.
Actually, still?
Right now, still. I could also tell you their home phone numbers.
with or
yeah.
without the 9 at the front.
Yeah, both.
Thank you. I was in a meeting at work and we were having a discussion about someone, and one of my colleagues said, yeah, that person is really living a liminal existence.
Ooh.
And when they said that, the first thing I was like, what does liminal mean?
You said what does
No.
liminal mean?
This is in my head. And then when you hear a
the
word,
little Dion on your shoulder.
yeah, that's right. And it's a little liminal Dion. And they said the word. The first thing I do when I hear a word I don't know is, first of all, try and work out the context around
Yes.
it. What is the word? What's happening around this word?
Read their voice.
Read their voice, all that sort of stuff.
I think it was used as part of a sentence.
But then you try and, if you can't work it out, you have to try and cover for it. Usually I'm actually fine with going, hey, what does that mean? But in a work context, when you've got colleagues and sort of formal atmosphere, you're trying to sort of more impress people than appear like an idiot.
Yes.
So in that moment, I froze, but I think that I got the feeling that everyone in the room didn't understand the word either.
Right.
So there was this weird sort of tension in the room, and the meeting just dissipated, and then we just all it was just like, and it killed the whole vibe.
Well,
it was amazing.
Do you know the sentence? Do you remember the sentence?
I think the sentence was, yeah, that person is really living a liminal existence.
Really living, and I don't know. I
don't know.
So what I'd say back is, could you explain how you think that's liminal?
Oh, great. So you're not saying, I don't know the word liminal.
Great question. Sounded so confrontational, though.
No.
Sorry, could you just
No,
before
no.
we leave, could you just
Hang on,
explain why?
But that's what I'd say.
Perfect.
Could you explain how you think that's liminal? And they'd go, oh, well, liminal means this. And I go, no, I know what liminal means.
Do you know what that is?
I've always known what liminal meant.
That is the equivalent to when you don't remember someone's name, asking how they spell it, and then being a really easy to remember name. Oh, it's just Josh. It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
No, but so I think liminal's probably something like casual or like free flowing or something. Because I'm thinking of laminal flow,
Oh, wow.
which is like a water thing.
Oh,
No, laminar flow.
Let's see. Yeah. Great words. Great to talk about words none of us know.
No, liminal means really. Well, unless you want to keep on guessing, if you're having fun.
Put us out of our misery, please.
Liminal means relating to a transitional or initial stage of a process. So they were in this transitional process.
But liminal existence.
But do you guys have these friends that have vocabularies that are clearly these words come from reading books?
What? Sorry?
But you have these friends where you're like, they use these words. I'm just in awe when these words are used. I love it. I will always ask in a friend context.
I think liminal in that context doesn't sound like they were trying to flex their vocabulary. It sounded like it was just a word that they thought, well, this is quite a liminal lifestyle.
Yeah.
And we're the idiots that don't know what
Yes.
that means.
I
Good
guess
point.
but it depends on the economics of the word.
Yes.
Like, have you tried to do more with the word that no one knows and you've wasted all this time explaining it? Or is it close enough that people will probably piece it together if they don't know it,
Yeah.
right?
I don't think you should ever. I don't think there's a use case where you can ever say enumerate out aloud. It's only written. It only deserves to be written.
I love that word.
It's a beautiful word, Dion, but it should never be said out loud because there's way simpler words.
That's a great point.
Yeah, that achieve the same thing.
And why would enumeration be that way to you? Why do you think that would be the case?
Great.
Because it's a small chicken.
You know the one I struggle with? Remunerate or remunerate? I can't. I don't know which way around it is.
No.
No, to get paid for something, right?
Should we get the-
remuneration or remunerate?
Remuneration.
Should we not get the British lady to say it? Remunerate.
Just to go back to the original point about what you do when you hear those words.
Yes.
I'm quite confident. I definitely think as I've got older, I'm quite confident to off the bat just go, what does that mean? I don't know that
Really?
word.
Yeah.
Just because I'm like, improve my vocabulary.
Yes.
Just help me out here. I'm not too worried about it. But you made a good point, Dion, about being at work.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't want to let that veneer slide. And I think in a bigger group, and there's a lot of people around, you don't want to be the idiot who doesn't know the word.
No, but you know that there are sometimes words that you should definitely know.
Yes.
And
yes.
pulling someone up and going, sorry, remind me what obtuse means. Right?
And then there's that thing at work of not only words you don't know, but what about if you send something to someone for them to look at an email that you want to send off and it's got sort of grammatical errors, or how does that make you feel? Like when they come back and say, can I just correct a few things? I feel like such a failure.
Oh, they come back to you with corrections.
Oh, you guys are looking at me going, what, that happens? Really?
Yeah.
When someone proofreads your emails.
Proofreads an
for
email.
grammar and stuff.
I'll send it to them and they'll come back. And my attention to detail isn't great, but they'll come back and they'll go, do you mind if I just change? I love when that's the approach. Do you mind if I change a few things? I don't mind that at all.
That's nice.
That's lovely.
But my problem is I spend way too much time on emails. Because I'm like, I reread and go over it a dozen times. I'm like, nah, not worth the energy and the effort into this. It's a very simple question, a very simple thing.
No.
Honestly, it's
Really?
stuff that's like, you spent like 3 minutes on something that should have taken 30 seconds.
No, but your tone in emails is very good. And I reckon that might be the care that's taken. I reckon keep that shit up.
All right.
Yeah, think about receiving an email that hasn't had time spent on it. Immediately you're offsided.
Actually,
Yeah.
you know what pisses me off about it? I spend the time on it, and then you get a response that is full of errors, grammatical mistakes, and super short. And you're like, shouldn't have bothered with a good email for this person.
Yeah, it comes back to that thing when someone sends you a message and everything's lovely and capitalized, and then you write back all with lowercase. You kind of feel like I'm really failing this person.
In the subject line.
In the subject line. Or just all that feeling when you hit the caps lock as well. Like if you're messaging at work or something and you go all caps. What a shocking feel. Even if you write, I'm sorry, didn't mean the caps. You've blown your load, haven't you?
My issue with you doing that, Dion,
Yep.
is that you haven't looked up when you've hit enter. You've typed,
great.
press enter, and then looked up.
and
So
I-
there's no moment in your mind that goes, before I send this, I need to review
And
what
I
I've
do
written."
that so often, and it's
Yeah.
so bad. And luckily, we use a platform, Telegram, where you can edit the messages.
Oh, so important.
But if you couldn't, there'd be lots of asterisks.
Do you have a particular word that you ordinarily will flex with? Something that you have in the back of your mind and try to weasel it into every conversation?
I don't have a particular word that's big. Well, I probably do, but I don't consciously do it. But there's a little grammar tidbit that I love that whenever it comes up, I bring it up.
Is it tidbit?
What it is, some people go, oh, that's making me nauseous.
Yes.
What they should actually say is, oh, that's making me nauseated. Because
Oh.
something that's nauseous
Yeah.
makes other things nauseated. So the cheese that's off is nauseous, which
No
makes
way.
me nauseated.
Do you know? No,
Hang on, can I ever be nauseous? Well, maybe if I
If you vomited, I'd go, and you said, I'm so nauseous, you vomited. I was like, that's gross, I'm
Oh,
nauseated.
no
That's
way.
shocking.
Christian, this is not a big deal.
It's
What
not.
do you mean it's not a big deal?
No. This is not a big deal because there are
Don't obfuscate this conversation.
because there are millions of these rules, and Josh knows one. And that's the example that he gives. Don't be impressed by one. Be impressed by millions.
And most of my emails contain the word nauseated.
But don't be impressed by this. There's so many rules. Just
So
because
don't
you
tell me
know-
what I can be impressed by.
Christian, you're making me not.
Do you know what word I always hear and never understand? It's a word that always someone says it and I go, I've forgotten it again.
Yep.
Saccharin.
Oh. Isn't that kind of
Saccharin.
just like,
I don't know that
it's
word.
like not important
Dion.
or like light or not.
Saccharin is like sweetened.
Oh, what?
Oh,
Yeah,
no
'cause
problem. Not important.
That's so different.
Sorry, do you have any of these important
It's like,
chips?
It's like
let's-
sweet or sentimental.
I thought it was. Oh, yeah. It's like you make a saccharin.
Sorry,
point.
Josh.
No,
You were wrong.
No, I'm on the way. I'm on the way because I'm like, if something's saccharin, right? And it's
Yeah.
a bit more sentimental. It's not like important or heavy, right? So
Oh,
I'm
okay.
kind of on the way. I'm on
Okay,
the way.
yeah, great.
I had a vague understanding because that's something that happens to me.
Yeah.
Do you ever do this? You go to use a word, not in conversation, but like on a message or something. You go to use a word and you go, I actually don't know if this is the right word. I'm going to look it up. And just to get the
yeah.
actual definition and go, yeah, I nailed it. I knew exactly what I was saying and I'm going to put it
It's
in there.
almost, and I don't want this to turn into a podcast about mental health, but it's almost the thing I think about most in my life is the fact that I use so many words and I say them and it's the right first letter, but every other letter that follows is incorrect.
Wait, what?
So I might be trying to say aardvark and I'll say abacus and I wouldn't have heard abacus come out.
Hang on. You do that or it's a fear?
No, it's what happens occasionally.
I've never heard that happen.
Oh, actually, I think you've done that around the house
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah, and then
just
and
the
then most
complete wrong
people-
word.
But most people just go, okay. Like it's like you can put
Explain
two
to me
and
how
two
that's an
together.
aardvark.
Hang on. I thought I heard you do that earlier when we were before the show.
Great. Like I said, one of my biggest fears and things that preoccupies my mind.
There was one thing.
No. Well, let's not dwell on it now.
the other thing, just to go back to the original point again about
Oh,
these
not
words.
again.
The thing that I've found, like you were saying, do you have any tactics? Like, how much time do you have to piece together the word? If you're, I feel like if you don't instantly go explain the word, you've committed to I have to work this out, or I'm moving on with my life.
Surely it has something to do, in my mind, with like speed reading, right? So you don't have to ever bring it up. Just like with speed reading, you can just go blink and the whole page, you get a gist of it, but there's words that you just miss.
That's
Yeah.
not speed reading. That's just looking. Do you reckon
no,
speed
it's-
reading is just looking at a page and go, oh, yeah, I got this.
Looking quickly with intent.
I love the idea of Christian being confused what reading a book is. He just sits there, turns the page every couple of seconds, like, I guess this is reading, right?
I read To Kill a Mockingbird.
No, Christian, you looked at it.
Heaps of aardvarks.
Hi, you've reached the Welcome to Patchwork helpline with Christian, Dion, and Josh. All three of our operators are busy right now, but please leave your trifling matter after the beep and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.
Help me, Cristiano amico. I have a bit of a conundrum. Last year, height of COVID, I started seeing a physio because I was grinding my teeth with lots of stress. And this physio is the best. He's the Michael Jordan of physiotherapists. If anyone wants his details, happy to provide them. We get on really well. He's a great guy. Love the consultations. We catch up. We talk about all aspects of everything.
Chicago Bulls.
I'd love to hang out with the guy. I think he'd be a good friend. How do I broach this situation? Don't want to come across weird. And worst of all, don't want to risk losing my patient physiotherapist relationship as well. Because, what would I do then? Would love for your input and advice. Grazie, amico.
Dr. Pisazale.
To start with, I don't think there's any risk that you lose the physio-patient relationship.
That's a good point.
I don't think there's anything to lose because the least you can do is put yourself out there. And he says, "Oh, actually, well, what does he say?" Right?
Well, I agree. I think the difference is if you're asking this person out on a date, I think then you run the risk. But if it's a friendship, the olive branch of friendship is being passed by the dove of peace. If that's going out, I think the relationship is maintained, the professional one.
So one of the issues that I have here is how I would like to know, and I wish we did have Erin here with us, because I'd love to know whether this is just the standard back and forth of a service relationship, which we've all come to. We all know that whoever we meet at the local cafe wants to date us. And only us.
Well, ultimately, I hate to say it to Aaron, it's good business from your physio.
Oh, doesn't that sting?
It does
Stings
sting.
a lot, but it's ultimately good business. If they're building rapport with you.
So I want to know, I think the key factor here for Aaron is the chat going on post adjustments.
Ooh.
Has the service been rendered and then he's investing additional time into you?
Well, I guess on the clock. Does he run over
Yes.
and doesn't pay for it?
Great.
Does he come in under and get undercharged? There's all these things, right, that might
Great.
illuminate what he's feeling on the other side.
So a question to both of you. Does Aaron go into his next appointment with a plan of attack in terms of where they'd go?
No.
Or is it, or does he has to be casual, right?
The answer is no.
So he doesn't go, oh, I know that he's Michael Jordan. He loves basketball. Well, let's say that they've got that thing in common. He doesn't go, oh, let's go watch the game down.
Let's go to watch the Bulls in 92.
Hey, get in my time machine. No, but he doesn't say, here's that thing that we have in common. Let's do that together.
I think what really needs to happen, and the only way to sidle into the friendship, is you can't do a one-on-one. It can't be a coffee date or anything like that.
What?
It's got to be a group thing.
Oh, that's
I
so
think-
weird.
no
Only
way.
That's so
option-
weird.
the only
What,
option
come out
you
with my
have-
friends?
Yes, go, hey, there's this thing on. We're going to be at the pub on Saturday night.
No.
Do you want to come
Ooh,
along?
Wait a second. Do you know
It's
why?
great.
Do you know why that sounds nice? Because it gives him the security that Aaron has friends. So he's not a nutter.
Yes.
And he can also leave, I guess, whenever he likes.
He can leave anyone. And also, he can bring his own friend because it's a group thing
Hang
in
on,
the
hang
pub.
on, hang on. This isn't a date. You're trying to form a friendship with someone. You're trying to get in their pants.
Yeah, I know. That's the point.
But it's Dion, you've missed the point. It's professional and we're making it personal.
But he doesn't know your friends. He doesn't want to meet you. I would just want to go out for a drink with him.
You
Or just
think
after work.
that's weird, man.
So
That's
is this whole
much
conversation.
weirder. But do you not think if you went to your physio, hey mate, I really enjoy spending time with you. Let's go out for a beer. I
Okay,
think that's so
here
weird.
It is. Here it is.
Yeah.
Here it is. Then when your physio comes and meets your friends,
Yep.
what do you say to your friends? Oh, this is Adam. He's my physio. You
What's
gonna
wrong
say
with that?
Sure.
That'd be weird.
Why?
Oh no, it's not that weird. It sounded okay. It sounded okay.
I
It
reckon
sounded
you
okay.
word up your friends beforehand and go, I've invited Adam. He's my physio. He's great. I reckon you guys are going to love
And
him.
you'd
way-
be beaming when you're saying this.
Yeah. Oh,
the
yeah.
way.
Josh, you've never glown like this before.
Adam is my physio, and I absolutely love him, and would love to go for a drink with him. Him and my hairdresser.
You and Aaron a double date with the physio.
Oh, wow. You bring both the physios.
Maybe it's the same physio.
Imagine that. Me and my friends are having a bit of a physio get together.
Oh, my God.
That'd be great. Just our favourite health professionals from our historically from our
Imagine if
life.
he organised, the same physio organised to catch up with you both. He knocked off both of them at the same time at the same pub.
That would be so funny.
He brought both of his patients.
The only other person that I would want to invite out, and I'd be happy going for a drink with him, is my hairdresser, Finn, who's moving, who told me he's moving to Tasmania. He's gone. I got to find another Finn.
I know.
Yeah.
You had to find another Dale. You had to find another Fib. What? Why do you lose barbers so often?
I don't know, Christian. I don't know. But they've all got great, unique names.
Have we confirmed these actually moved to Tassie, or is this maybe sorry mate, I'm off?
Yeah,
You're going to
maybe
find
not.
him in another barbershop with
Imagine
Dale.
that. Imagine if he stopped working at the barbershop because he hated the half an hour conversation he had
Yeah,
with me.
imagine that. And then you've asked him out for a drink. That's weird. I think though the group invite, there's way less pressure on that because you can just put everything, be like, hey, I'm going to be there anyway. If you're out maybe on that night, you want to swing by, maybe have a drink, and it can be a very, very small appearance. You're not locked in for a whole evening.
Yep.
So it could be like, oh no, this guy's rubbish in real life.
Yep.
Get me out of here, and he's off.
And much against what you just said, Dion, it's not a direct invite. There's no threat there.
Yes.
It's
no,
open.
it is a direct invite. It's just with other people. You're directly asking them.
Oh, it's easier to set up. What are you doing on the weekend? Oh, yeah, just a bit of bob. Well, you know what? I'm having some drinks with some friends. If you're interested.
Yes.
Do you know what? We don't often do call outs to our listeners. I would love to hit us up if you've managed to
Yes.
escalate a friendship, a professional engagement to a friendship. Would love to hear it. And if it's some kind of bullshit story where it's sort of a friend, no, we're not interested. We want direct professional to friend and want to know how you did it. Hit us up.
Because the one big issue I have for Aaron, does he choose to live in fantasy land where this friendship could blossom
Yes.
and not say a word and be like, he's great, we get on so well, I love it.
Yep.
But if you cross that threshold and you get denied,
Oh my
Shocking.
God.
Ruins everything,
what
right?
what if he doesn't come?
That's why. Well, I mean, that's another story, but that's why. That's why. You really need to, and going back to that first point, you really need to wait for it to come up somehow. There needs to be.
I think it's what are you doing on the weekend,
No,
right?
no.
No, Dion, then you're going to
No.
be tiptoeing around it forever.
No, there needs to be some mutual thing. They need to mention a band that they like. Oh, they're coming. Oh, do you want to go to that?
Oh, that's
Come on.
No,
that's good.
I reckon
That is
no.
so much better than what you were
I
saying.
think you're going to end up investing $40,000 in physiotherapy to wait for a moment where he mentions a band that he
It
likes.
needs to be a mutual thing that you both enjoy doing. It has to be that.
Like going to the pub? Like what we've been saying for the
No,
last 5 minutes?
no,
You want a
it's too
specific
generic.
interest.
Got to be specific.
No.
I like that. But there's
that's
no guarantees there.
I think
not,
that's
but-
intimidating because it means you've been listening too well.
No.
And you
bring it
care
up.
too much
No.
already.
No. You wait for that moment. So if they say, have you listened to the latest Chemical Brothers album? You're like, I saw them last year. And they go, no, you didn't. It was COVID, you idiot. No, but if there's that exchange, you go, they're actually playing next week.
The only-
you interested in going? I'd actually
only
really like
problem,
someone to
though-
go with. That was good, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't.
That
because
was good.
That's
Josh.
one-on-one. You go to a gig one-on-one. That's more awkward than a date.
The Chemical Brothers are performing for everyone, not just us.
I think, Dion, what you're failing to realize is that if you want to do a one-on-one, you're locking them in for a good 2, 3,
Yeah.
or 4 hours, and
Yeah.
that is really intimidating
But-
if you're not that keen.
But if you have the audacity to ask your health professional that you want to go out with them, surely you think you got a shitload to talk about with them. Or maybe outside those four walls, you don't.
Yeah, wow.
There's nothing to talk about.
If it's going to be one-on-one, it has to be at something that you're watching because there needs to be the distraction
Yes.
in
Yeah.
case you need it.
Yes.
Yeah. And Jesus Christ, wouldn't that be awkward? You both agree to go to something and you got nothing to talk about and the play stops.
Or no,
Oh.
you know what would happen though? You'd have something to talk about for half an hour and then nothing else.
That's it. And that's it. And then they ask you for payment. Yeah.
The other thing I was thinking about with this, surely the type of health professional matters, right? The physio, it's kind of surface level, right?
Yeah.
Just doesn't anything.
Oh,
hang on.
sorry. The person who's massaging your bare skin is superfluous.
But they're not going to know you that well, right? You're just doing very high level chat.
No, my physio knows me very well.
Oh, okay.
But I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm, what
There's
I'm
tears.
getting at,
It's
what
the
I'm
episode
getting
of
to-
tears.
Yes.
What I'm getting to is like, for instance, your psychologist or therapist or someone you speak to who knows heaps about you. I don't think you're bringing that to a friendship.
No
That's
way.
just
You
no
cannot.
chance.
You cannot. Because it's breaching the professional stuff. But also, even if it wasn't, too weird.
Yeah, they know way too much.
Yeah, because you'd be at a concert and they'd be like, "Oh, geez, it's like it's the." It's
Is this
like your-
triggering your anxiety?
Now, thanks very much to Aaron for being the first on the helpline. This is a shout out to you guys. If you have anything you want the Patchwork Helpline to help with, get in touch. We'll sort out a voice recording. Don't worry about that. Just get in touch in our socials. Also, we have a Discord channel now. Get in touch in our Discord. Get in touch in our Facebook, our Instagram, our Twitter, email through the website, all of that. So get in touch and you might be the next caller on the Patchwork Helpline. Christian, Dion, it's time for a quick quiz. Dion, what's the dumbest name for a pet bird?
Jonah,
Christian, mango.
Dion,
Moosey Moosey.
Christian, quick. Whip. Dion, what's a good excuse for not submitting your homework?
That I was applying treacle to a cake.
Great.
I hurt my elbow.
Dion,
The blinds have come down and I can see outside.
Christian.
My hair is thinning.
And finally, Dion, make up a new coffee order.
Can I have one hairy mocha with Coke and a scroll?
Christian.
Could I have a short Lambrosky?
Dion, quick.
$1 bill y'all.
Christian, quick.
And I'll have a tall of the tall order.
Really, really good. You know what's really, really good? Really, really good. You know what's really, really good?
We love hearing your really goods, so make sure that you're jumping on to our Really Good Fridays every Friday fortnight and comment on the post with your best really good. You know what Michaela Frost thinks is really good? when you press G for ground floor and you actually travel to the ground floor in one go.
Really good. Really good.
Really good. Really good.
And do you know what Team NT thinks is really good? When you go to bed feeling like you're coming down with something and you wake up the next morning perfectly fine.
Oh, really good.
Really good.
And you know what Maddie Jones thinks is really good? When you sign up to Patreon and your Patchwork's 100th Patreon.
Really good. Really good. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Welcome to Patchwork. We have social media. You should know this already. And if you don't, then you're not listening to our show. Please listen. Please like.
And Dion, new development, we now have a Discord server as well.
What's Discord, gamer Josh?
It's like a chat client, so we're on there, we're active. That helps, right?
Can't wait to see the episode drop off after this.
So we've had a bunch of people join already. So jump on our Discord server. We're there chatting with everyone. It's really fun. You can suggest stuff for the shows. You can just chat to us off the cuff. Very informal, a lot of fun, and it's a good place to hang out with us.
Yeah, we have lots of things. We've also got a Patreon, as you heard. We hit 100 Patreons. You can go to the link in our bio on Facebook or Instagram or whatever the hell you want. It's a great way to support us, but it's a great way for you to get content as well, because every second week we release a mini patch. And if you are a Patreon and you're listening to this and you don't yet have us as a separate feed in your podcast app, hit us up and we will tell you how to do it. You can even hit us up on Discord if you like. And as we do every week, we sew a new patch into our quilt of friendship. Josh, what patch did you sew into our quilt this week?
Thank you, Dion. My patch this week is Christian sending me a very saccharine birthday message. Hey, Josh, love you, mate. Happy bazooka. Christian, what patch did you sew this week?
Thank you, Josh. This week I sewed into my patch our Patchwork helpline caller looking down at his phone and smiling after receiving a personalised birthday message from his physio. And Dion, what did you sew into your patch this week?
My patch this week is Christian at the Australian Physiotherapy Association conference, going around and asking all the physios if they're feeling nauseated and if they want to be his friend. Thank you for listening to Welcome to Patchwork for another week. I've been Dion.
I've been Josh.
And I've been Christian.
Goodbye.
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 We're good with that one, aren't we? Aardvark and or Aardvark. Help me, Dion.
Arsvark. Hello and welcome to Arsvark.
So this is Aaron.
The new kink show where we stick aardvarks up our anus.